texted you right before I came into this,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Hey, maybe you should introduce the person, before the episode starts." But I'm like how nice the combo just flows, and that's how eventually people find out who the legend across the table is for me.
That's kind of literally how guys are. If you think about it, they'll talk for hours and be like, I don't know his name, but he was like the coolest guy.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. It's like those memes that I see
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook. They're like, guys be like, girls.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
see, this is big.
It came full circle, yeah.
Exactly. What year was it? Because I'm a brain fart with the years.
For where we met,
But yes,
I would like to say it was 2019. So I would say roughly 6 years ago.
that was pre everything.
Yeah, no.
The world changing. Where does it rank? Where does it rank? This like, are you like a pre-COVID guy or post-COVID guy? Like,
For aesthetics?
you probably weren't expecting that question, but like, yeah, like, was life better pre or post? Maybe even equal.
Um, I think that depends. I would say for most people, they would say pre-COVID because that's when like a lot of things were good. And I granted, but my time in life as I progressed as a person, that was really post-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a kind of a toss-up. I would go back to pre-COVID like prices and all that stuff. I would absolutely go back to that. But like some of the aesthetics are terrible. Like some of the shit in the 2000s, like when we were growing up, like that was wild.
It reminds me of like the logos. Have you seen the things where the logos were more like messy? If that makes any sense, like Coca-Cola, Doritos,
Yeah.
and now things are more professional.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
They seem less individualized, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Like they don't really seem like there's nothing separating these brands apart anymore
mm-hmm.
because they all seem like neat and the same.
Exactly.
It kind of loses the appeal. But that's just me.
It reminds me of like that time on SpongeBob where he got changed for some reason. He was like, "I'm normal," and everyone had the same house and shit like that.
Yeah, dude.
That is crazy. Yeah, wasn't it supposed to be like an adult show? Did I see that?
It could have been. It wouldn't surprise me. But with that being said, I still think the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob are like not just some of the greatest television ever made, but like some of the greatest piece of like American animation, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of like the humor in it is like really fucking funny. It's only like 10 minutes like per little thing.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool how it was able to do that. It kind of fell apart after Hillenburg left for a little bit.
Was that who voiced SpongeBob, right?
No, that was who created SpongeBob.
Yeah.
He actually directed the movie, the SpongeBob movie. Yeah,
What's the guy? Steven Hasselhoff. He's the lifeguard. Is that his name? I think.
David Hasselhoff. You mean?
Oh, say it. Got one white boy name right. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember there was this time when
They're all the same. It's okay.
there's a even, David, stuff like that.
Right.
I remember when I was being babysat when I was younger, and my older cousin, he introduced me to a video called Grandma's Kisses.
I think I remember this.
It's like, yeah, it's like SpongeBob parody. And it's like, Grandma's Kisses. And it's like, it says some crazy stuff that I can't say on the pod.
Okay, heard. Yeah, I was gonna say it, but I guess for those at home.
Well, I mean, so YouTube actually asked me every time before I post an episode, it's like, is it made for kids? And I was like, not really. Just because I'm going to put no to play on the safe side. But so if you want, you could say, let's see if we're thinking of the same video.
I'll cuss a little bit, but I won't go crazy. Grandma's ass cheeks.
Yes.
Christopher Walken, yeah, that old video.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think they like deleted it and brought it back or something.
Indeed. Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was kind of like the Moon Man thing for a while, if you remember that whole thing.
What era was that?
That was in the 2000s. Not everybody remembers it, but it was basically the crescent moon guy from McDonald's.
Yes.
Mac Tonight. He basically became Moon Man in the 2000s, and basically became like, he became a hate symbol, actually. It's pretty wild.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like the far right just took it for itself. It's pretty funny.
See, this is what I love. One of the things I love about the pod is like, I feel like each guest I've had has opened up a dimension and told me about some nostalgic stuff that completely I forgot about.
Mm.
Because, I don't know what it is about nowadays. It feels like even a week that goes by, there's so much more content. Maybe it's because of our attention spans are lower, or it's like something could happen a month ago, but it feel much longer than that. Do you see where I'm going?
I get you. Yeah.
Like that thing that happened with Mario's brother Luigi.
Yeah.
Like no one's talking about that anymore. That's crazy.
Some people still are. I have a friend. I'm not gonna drop him, but he's very adamantly for the class war, and he was just like, "Yeah, Luigi's a hero," but I'm just like, think about it for a second. Nobody's actually heard him say anything. Nobody's heard him talk yet. He could be a fucking crazy person for all we know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But what he still did was pretty based. I'm not gonna lie.
He has balls to do.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does. And like, it's one of those things where like, it was one of those things for a while. Probably not so much anymore, like you were saying, but it was kind of one of those things where the left and the right just kind of agreed on it. They're kind of like, yeah, we don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Free our boy Luigi, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like unity for a second.
It was like a Team Purple moment.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, it was so crazy how something that massive could end like the search at a random McDonald's. Do you know what I mean?
I know, right?
Like
the dude couldn't hide his love for McDonald's. That was his downfall.
And then what's funny is that like the person that snitched on him,
yeah,
I think didn't do the guidelines to get the pay.
That's right.
So they're fucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
Was it like a certain call line, right?
Yeah, they called the NYPD, but they were supposed to call like the FBI hotline or something, or some stupid shit like that.
That's where they always get you.
That's right. That's right. That's why you don't snitch.
I remember there was a time when, like, what was it? I saw this other parody for like Dora the Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Dora. I actually know a guy named Dora. That's his nickname.
Oh, hell yeah, then.
And they said something about like snitching Swiper or something. I don't know. It was so cringy. I was like, what the? Like, both starts with an S doesn't mean like you got to make something. Like, some people, they try to make content just to make content.
It's like trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Is that okay? We might be thinking something different. Is that show with the orange dog?
No, it's Mean Girls, dude.
Oh my gosh, bro. The brain farts are coming in for me right now. Do you remember that show though with the I think it was the show with
what's it called?
It's like Fetch, and it was like the orange dog.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but you might be but for all I know you could be having a Shaq Kazam moment.
I could be. I probably am.
Mm.
I don't know what it is. The minute I press start recording, it's like a different topic. It's insane. You know what I mean?
You're doing fine.
Thank you. Yeah,
you're doing good.
Yeah, and you said this is your first time at BSU, right?
First time where?
Here.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it is.
One day I got to give you a tour here. There's some legends that are here. Have you ever met my friend Taylor?
I'm not sure.
Taylor Gilchrist. You might. No, that was like one of the only crossovers we didn't do.
Okay. I'm gonna have to make that happen.
Yeah, one. She was from Massasoit, but then there was those times where the eras didn't connect. Some people went certain semesters, some people didn't.
Right.
We make it happen, you know? I don't know about you, but that era where we did meet, like you mentioned, 2019, of Massasoit, I'm not just saying this because you're across for me. It is the greatest years of school of my entire life.
Oh, nice. I'm glad I could attribute to that.
Oh, yes, definitely. I don't know how you felt about it, but that place is heaven on earth.
That place was pretty fun, honestly. There was a lot of good people there. There's a lot of good people that I got to know outside of you, of course. Um, Obviously, shout out to Jason. Um, but there was a lot of great people that I got to meet there. There was a lot of like people that I still keep in touch with to this very day.
Mm.
Um,
You want to name drop anything?
sure. Evie, that's one.
Like,
Right. I got to know someone named I met a girl named Emmy at Massasoit as well.
mm.
There's a few other people named it like Israel and stuff like people like that, Tony, you know. Um I'm having a brain fart just like you. I'm sure I'll shout out more people later, I promise, guys.
You're good. You're good. Israel, I remember, like, you know, you have a time where you have mutual friends on like a social media app,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys are just like, oh, we'll just add each other. We'll see what content each person has.
Yeah.
I think I saw Israel's like notifications, and I always put this, thing out there of like, oh, this person's a great reactor to my stuff. Israel, if you're listening, Israel always heart reacts my stuff.
Hell yeah, dude.
Always checks in.
Yeah, shout out to Israel, dude.
I couldn't give like,
Not the country, the person.
yeah, I didn't
I have to make that clear.
know if that was like his real name at first. I wasn't sure.
It's a really cool name to have.
That's true. And I think last name is Barber too. So that's
Israel Barber. No.
that is love that. And I couldn't fit the name with the face
Yeah,
because his profile picture isn't him.
right.
So it was like, I think when I met him, oh, I'm Israel.
Mm.
Who? There's not a lot of people named Israel.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? Fuck. Oh my gosh. I'm
Yeah.
flabbergasted.
I was also flabbergasted when I like saw him for the first time in years. That was a really nice experience. He's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I haven't spoken to him in a while though. I should do that. I should reach out to him.
There's I always see stuff on notifications, because have you seen the Facebook page, what's it called, Rock and Hub?
Yes.
He has balls of steel. Look down, he's like the most avid person on.
That's so funny.
Like he'll pick an argument if he needs to with anyone on there. It's something about like, and they'll make an argument on it. I think they'll be like, it's so sad. It's snowing out and the kids aren't playing. And someone had a problem with that. Israel said that, I think. And then why would someone have a problem like with kids want to have exercise?
That's wild.
It's insane. You ever have that moment where you're talking to someone and it's like, it feels like you're talking to a wall. They just don't.
Yeah, dude. I get that all the time.
And
For some people, it's like a reoccurring thing, and I'm just like, oh my God, I gotta get away. I gotta go.
where does it happen more often? Oh, is it like at jobs or?
It happens at the job, it happens at home, it happens kind of everywhere, depending on the day, of course.
Yeah.
From what?
No.
I was just gonna say, for more people, it's frequent than others.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, it's kind of like the thing of, tell me if I'm getting this right. They say age 25, the frontal lobe, all that shit connects or something.
Mm.
So,
I'm not sure. I can't tell you if that's correct, but as somebody who is about to turn 25 this year, it could be useful information for me.
that's another SpongeBob reference. Better than 24.
25.
I think it's like, yeah, they said like, oh, when you turn 25, like your frontal lobe something, like you think differently.
Right.
And that's happened to me where I'm like, I start to see things that I don't usually, visualize. And I'm like, wow, there's some people that I'm like, are they really worth the payroll? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm paying this much for this contract, it seems a little overpaid.
Right.
It's like, because you are one of the hardest workers I know. I'm being dead ass. And you've told me this before, but just for the viewers, where do you work? I know it's somewhere that's, a good unique.
I work in the landscaping industry. I work as a foreman. for a company called Outerland located in Mashpee, Massachusetts.
There you go.
They're quite an interesting company. You know, I certainly have learned a lot for sure. There's certainly some lessons that I took to heart, but there's also a lot of stuff that I think the company can improve on. And I feel like if I do tell it to their face, I don't think they're going to exactly take my advice. So that's kind of where I'm at with them. But they're good company to work for. I'm not talking bad about them. I'm just saying I have my little personal differences with them.
Are you you're in the middle of it, right? Like you're not the top dog, but you're like right there type thing.
So basically, I run my own crew on the field, essentially. And basically, the people above me are obviously my managers, property managers, and then COO, and then CEO.
Mm-hmm.
We actually just got a new CEO this year. Indeed. He's a nice guy for sure, but I think he still has ways to go as far as earning everybody else's respect.
Did he go up the ranks or did he come from somewhere else?
He came from somewhere else.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Which Outerland claims not to do, but they just did it, so.
So that some of them are hypocrites, it sounds.
Some. But everybody's a hypocrite in a way. I don't hold that too much against a person. I guess I think when it becomes a problem is when it becomes frequent and like to the point of complete opposition from each other. When those two things that when they're saying one thing and doing like literally the complete exact opposite.
Yeah.
That's what I think is truly hypocritical, and that's what I call out. Because everybody's a hypocrite, honestly, to a degree.
That's deep and actually true when you really think about it, because, you know, some people probably think, oh, that's not me. But if you really get down to the nitty gritty, everyone's had it at least once. You can still be a good person, but like everyone's definitely had it at least once where they say something, they can be like an accidental hypocrite where say something that like, wow, it makes you go back and think. How'd you find out about the place? Was it from like a site or a family member or?
I was literally just looking for a job, and I stumbled across it. I went for the interview, and it seemed promising, so I went. Things that when I was a second man, I liked a lot more. Because I didn't have to fucking talk to anybody. That was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously being a foreman's nice too. It came with a pay raise. It came with a few extra things, but I don't know. Part of me misses being a second man, not having to worry about that shit.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever have a time when you went to go apply for a job and they handed it to you like on the spot?
That's kind of what they did, but I told them I wanted to think about it before I took it.
Did you have first when like that happened where you were like, it's kind of sus, you know, because they're just like no process?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They kind of just said they'll do my background check later. And I guess, yeah. And there is some people who, that they obviously don't do background checks because there's some people there who shouldn't be working there. There's some with a criminal background, but that's not the people I have an issue with. The people I have an issue with that they hire people who are on sex offenders lists.
Really?
Yeah. Like we have this one kid right now. I won't name drop him because I won't give him that courtesy, but essentially, basically, how he got on the list was he exposed himself to his sister, I guess, and then his sister told the grandmother, and he's a level 3 now. Yeah. Crazy, right?
That's insane.
Uh-huh.
What is he, like around our age?
Yeah. He's 24 like me. I know.
And that's what's sickening. It's like people who have no record.
Mm-hmm.
They're having trouble finding a job, but someone who's a monster like that can find a job, you know? Like you saying that you basically got the job right away reminds me of like, I think it was You're not gonna believe me, but it was that same year that we met, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? Let me switch it up. I want to go to a different camp because I used to be a big summer camp,
Right.
summer camp counselor. And before I got confirmation for that newer one, I was like, you know what? What if I worked at the Brockton Rocks? It's like this like minor league baseball place. And then in the room, they were like, we're gonna offer it to you. And I'm a people pleaser. I have trouble saying no or I'm not sure.
I get that, yeah.
And I'm like, sure, let's do it. Shake his hand. I get in the car right after. I get an email that I got a job
Mm-hmm.
for that camp. It was lower pay, but it's something I would have been more interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, in the parking lot, I email him, my apologies. I got, you know, and they probably didn't believe me.
That's funny.
They were probably like, yeah, that's what they all say. Have a good summer,
Right.
It reminds me there was this time, and some people have looked at old podcast episodes and they're like, Thomas, you really kind of let it out there. I was like, yeah, I'm willing to do that. It kind of reminds me, there was this time when I was like, oh, do I hear a door?
No.
Hello, hello.
I'm just going to see there's a water bottle in here.
Oh,
Do I see any water bottle?
I do not see a water bottle. What did it look like?
No, it's sorry. Somewhere else.
I'll be on the lookout.
Do I say hi?
Hey.
There was, yeah. If anyone finds a hot pink water bottle at BSU, it's that cute girls. Which, speaking of BSU girls, the thing I was talking about was it's kind of related to the other employer not believing me.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a crazy segue. Insanely on point segue. There was a time when I was like talking to this girl, and I was like, in the end, she's like a good person, but I was like, I don't think I'm ready for a relationship. But do you know how the phrase where it's like, the bad people have ruined it for the good people?
Right.
How many times people have said that and they didn't mean it?
Mm-hmm.
So she was I don't think she believed me because she didn't take it the right way. She's like, basically kind of like sure, that's what they all say. And I was like, no, I'm being dead ass. I'm like, it's not school. And you know what I mean? Like, this was like a year ago.
Trying to replenish. Trying to necessitize.
I was like, come on. I'm like, I'm being so dead ass. Like, no fingers crossed, which I do it like this. I guess people do it like this. Or
I used to do it both ways.
oh, I can't, for some reason I can't do it like that. I don't know why. And I guess
Try doing it like the other way then.
like this, right?
Like this.
This.
No, I meant like you can switch them like this.
Oh, okay.
Say.
And they call this the hitchhiker song, I think. Did I even know? Say it's a wrong.
I call it a thumbs up, but
That's right. And you might be the first person I've ever met in my entire life. I found out I could do this in 2011.
Mm.
I've asked everyone. No one's been able to do it. You might be the first. Do you know how to do this? For the people on the audio, they're probably like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm just doing this funny hand joke.
I'm not limp enough.
It looks like I have no fucking bone on my finger. Yeah, I think it was in like middle school or whatever, but one day I'll find someone. I'll find someone who will know how to do this.
Yeah, you'll find somebody who could do the skanky finger.
Yes.
That's what you gotta call it now.
Yeah, it's like, or like the stanky leg. You know how like that move
Mm-hmm.
kind of looks like that.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. That's why I call it the skanky finger, because yeah, dude.
Oh shit. Because I had no fucking thing for it. I had no word for it. See, that's the beauty of podcasts. Who would have thought we go from pre-COVID to stanky or skanky
Skanky finger, dude.
2025 aesthetic,
Yeah, dude. We're yeah, dude. Move over, Brett Summer.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh, that's big time.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
And then
Is that the outfit for the job?
no,
I-
it is not. I would never wear this at a job.
You look fair. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, I can't wear this at work. I have to wear what do you call it? Trying to think.
Is it-
Tan slacks.
Yeah, and like do you have to like for the top? Do you have to wear like the kind of like the vest? No, I'm thinking of construction. What the fuck am I saying?
Well, we do have to wear a shirt with a logo on it, so I can't necessarily wear this. Although I can wear what I want in the winter, but I don't feel like ruining my actual good clothes with salt.
Understand.
So, or ice melt.
I was really about to have another brain fart and say, "Oh, do you go in with the vest that looks like the highlighter, like like the crossing guards?" No, that's fucking construction.
Well, you do need some high-vis vests sometime.
Mm-hmm.
If you're working in a commercial property, then you would need it.
There's another legend that I know.
Hmm.
Funny, we were talking about landscaping, and it's just now coming to me, just now dawning to me. Someone else that I know who works in landscaping. Shout out Ryan Mendez,
Mhm.
and I think it's like based in Sharon. I think.
Oh, it's based.
You're one of the masters of the one-liners. I swear. And you know what? What I'm gonna do for the thumbnail is probably gonna be like a still picture of us laughing at the same time. That'll probably be what it is, and it'll be yeah. I guess so. Is yours like year round? Because with his, he gets laid off in the winter because there's nothing to really do for landscaping, and they do plowing and stuff.
We do that as well, but my bosses have been trying to find more creative ways to keep the teams busy. Sometimes he'll send some crews out for like winter pruning. Thankfully, not me, because I value my time off. But he does send people out there to do stuff sometimes, but that's not very often.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not very often at all, honestly. It's not even like for the full week. So it'd be kind of pointless for me.
So how long are you on? Like maybe like a late March type thing?
Mid-March.
Shit. So what have you been doing on your days off?
Watching a lot of films. Been trying to go out more. Been seeing my friends. Shout out to Bobby. Shout out to Don. But yeah, I've just been kind of keeping busy with that. There's not really any money coming through, so I've just kind of been like doing stuff that hasn't been costing a lot of money. So I've been watching like stuff that I already own, and it's been kind of nice, honestly, not having to worry about that.
There's another crossover that I have to do. There's two similarities with me and this person that I'm about to mention. His name's David Wood. I also met him at Massasoit. He's a huge film guy. Massive film guy.
Nice.
Like you can name a film from the before like was color in the movies when I was like black and white. He'll know it by year, director. It's like because you're obviously like you said like you watch films and stuff. Like where's your knowledge on films? Definitely more than me. Like is that one of your passions to watch them?
I would definitely say so. Yeah, I get very artistically inspired by them. I think a lot of them are interesting reflections of when they were made as well. Particularly, I've noticed because I have a Letterboxd account. In case you don't know how it works, I have a Patreon account there. So I basically pay for a subscription. I get stats, and it keeps track of like basically what you've been doing for the year and also of all time too, which is pretty cool. But what fuck was I gonna say? I think what I was gonna say though, as far as like stats, is like it keeps track for you and such. So it kind of like it has the movie that I logged like that I first watched at the beginning of the year, and then like the last movie I watched.
It's kind of like a Spotify rap for movies, right?
Indeed, kind of. It also logs like your most like rewatched and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I dig it a lot.
Yeah, you and David are actually the two people who put me onto that app. I haven't remembered to get it, but I have to. And sponsored by Supercharge.
Indeed.
The gas station.
This is probably this is not a gas station vape, I promise.
No, I mean like just the name.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a gas. That's definitely a gas station name. But thankfully, it's VO name, so it's sponsored by.
Blueberry raspberry ice.
Indeed.
So don't worry, she won't come in if you want. I've already had the guest episode 3 to his vape. So
Just figured I'd ask, because I didn't get to ask you before.
you're fine. No worries. No worries. It's like in the car, people ask me, "Oh, can I smoke?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay with that." You know? Yeah, that's like, you feeling supercharged? Oh, that's also like, what is it? The place to rent them. You ever been there? It's like go-kart. It's got everything. Go-karts, trampoline park, arcade. It's called Supercharged.
Oh really? I'd have to go. I've wanted to go to more of those places. They used to have a ton of them in the Cape, but they shut down for some reason. I don't know why.
Have you always been down there?
No. I grew up in Stoughton most of my life. I'd probably say the first 19 or so years, 19, 20 years of my life I spent in Stoughton. I would go down the Cape because my parents had a summer house down there, and I would spend a lot of time there. But I currently live at that summer house right now. And yeah, there's kind of nothing happening there.
See, that's the thing. It's like you were reading my mind. Like that place, I mean, you would know more than anyone because, you live there now. Is it kind of like a ghost town in the off season, pretty much, right?
Yes and no. There's been a lot more people there because of COVID, spending time in the winter and such. I kind of got all the same idea, which is why I kind of originally went down there, but I kind of just got stuck there, honestly.
Do you miss the South Shore?
I do. I do and I don't. There'll probably be a lot of things I would probably remember that I did not like if I come back here. But I would overall say yes. There's a lot that I would say I definitely miss here more than where I'm currently residing right now.
So I hope it wasn't like, that's badass. I mean, got the fucking hands on it. That's badass. So it wasn't that far to get here, right? Hopefully, because I just now realized when you said the Cape. How far was the get to Bridgewater?
49 minutes.
I'll give you a fist bump for that. Thank you for taking time like you did.
Oh, no problem. But literally, I wanted to do this, so I forgot to thank you for inviting me. I was gonna do that at the end, but I guess I'll do my early thank you now.
Anytime. It's also brought to you by visit.
I guess in good health because this is the dispensary I got it from.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
I know you don't smoke, but it's always here for an offer.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually forgot that you were from Stone. So did you know? Because you met Quincy, right?
Of course, yeah.
So did you guys know each other from Stone? Because he's a Stone.
We did. We grew up together pretty much. I know, right?
So when you guys probably saw each other in Massasoit, it's like,
I knew him when he was a little innocent black boy. Shout out to Quincy though. I love the guy.
That's right. Yeah, Quincy's a legend. I always have this like, what's it called? Catchphrase. It's like, I tell people from Linwood, LSG, because my friend lives in Linwood Street and he made these.
Oh, those are cool.
Thank you. And it's for a couple of our friends, and one of my catchphrases is, "I love everyone except the dictators." They're just like a random thing that I say all the time. You know what I mean?
There you go.
But there's
what a relevant thing to say now, though.
What?
About the dictators.
Yeah, there's some shady stuff going around the world. Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like I feel like people's eyes are more open now than before. I think it's because the benefit of social media, where more information is being brought out than before when it was just the newspaper. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that? I feel like because of the influx of information. Okay.
Well, I guess if I were to try to answer in an intelligent way, I guess I would have to say it's both positive and negative. It's negative in the way that I kind of feel about 24 hours news, that you kind of, good news don't sell, so kind of just all bad.
Yeah, controversy gets clicks.
Indeed. So, it's kind of not good to surround yourself with all that negativity. It's kind of not good to surround yourself online chronically, at least. But on the other hand, though, social media is like really good if like you need to find something out really fast, and like, yeah, and like there's some good articles from like legitimate news sources, and also Wikipedia is more legitimate than most people think.
That is
honestly.
Yeah, it's like one of those things like when people are growing up and the parents are like, it's those dang phones. Growing up now realizing it's like sometimes it is. It's like because too much of anything is bad. You can even have too much water. That's insane to think about.
I think it's funny that the boomers who were saying that originally are now the same people being duped by AI images on Facebook now.
Exactly.
I think that's really funny.
Yeah.
I think it's very ironic too.
Exactly.
Indeed.
They don't have. I always tell my parents, it's like me and my brother weren't in the house giving you the technology tips. Who knows? Like, because my dad's been hacked on Facebook more than once. Like, don't press the links from people you don't know.
Oh, dude, I remember one time I got hacked as I was like on like FaceTime Messenger. I was being hacked as that was happening, so I literally logged in and changed my password and like kicked him out. That's like in like mid time, I was speed running. You know the guy who's like sweating, like doing all the clicks, like that. I was literally that guy in that moment. It was like it was like speed running, like changing a password and getting that guy the fuck out of my account.
And it worked on
It did work, yeah. Yeah, they didn't get to send any of those scams that they've been sending to my friends and stuff. So I think it's funny how like it took a few weeks for one of my friends to notice. They were just like, it's like a month later, they're just like, "Oh, don't click on those links." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit, buddy."
Exactly.
Shout out to Jonathan Hoffman. I love the guy. But please check your stuff to see if it's hacked, bro.
That's right. Oh my God. Yeah, it's funny. What a coincidence, because literally like an hour before I saw you, I got this random thing where it's like, you need to pay your Easy Pass. And I'm thinking, I haven't done an Easy Pass in a couple months, so I'm here and it's not. Then it's like, they don't even try to hide it anymore. It just feels so obvious. Press this link that doesn't even have the URL connected. You got to do that and then reply X and then do this. And it's like, bro, what the fuck are they talking?
I remember one time my friend was telling me a story about like, I forget what it was that made him call back. But basically they were like saying, it was basically like, it was legitimate to why he would like call back and be worried about it. He calls back and it's just literally like just like a Chinese food like takeout service thing.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it was really funny.
I feel like those are the places that get like prank called the most. You know what I mean?
Chinese delivery places, definitely.
You ever see the thing where it's like the John Cena prank call?
John Cena, yeah.
Yeah, it's like
That was a really funny one. That's a classic one.
I think it was like a radio station.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
It's like, you have 2 tickets to SmackDown, and the girl's like, we have no wrestling in this house.
We should definitely prank call somebody on your phone before the end of the show.
I would be so down. Wait, what is it, like star 82, right? I think.
Well, they won't be able to recognize your phone number if they're if it's my contact. If you just put it in my phone.
Oh, if I
Yeah.
someone's number.
Indeed.
Oh,
If I give you somebody's number, you could be like,
oh my gosh, that's a good idea.
indeed. You should do that with every guest now. Be
I'll
like,
give you another fist off for that. I like that.
be like, we got to end it off with a prank call.
I'll do it to, what's funny? He'll watch this and then realize, oh, this is them all along. Got my friend Chris. I don't think you've met him. Yeah, Chris Flanagan.
This is great. Shout out to Chris Flanagan.
That's right. I'll keep it open. We'll prank call his awesome ass. And he doesn't have the flavor that you have. I'm not even kidding. I swear. I know I already mentioned this.
Yeah.
I'm noticing even more with it. The belt. Oh my fucking gosh! And the hat too. Shout out to the hat guys. Shout out to the hat.
I have the coat over there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's got the fur on the top too.
Indeed.
Holy crap! You gotta put me on. Where'd you get it at?
I can show you. I think I got it from eBay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You just search up Stitch Tarn UTV, because if you don't search up the UTV, you're just gonna get the ones with holes in it, and you'll have to put shoulder boards, and you won't want that. It looks too militant. You know what I mean? This is more relaxed. This is also really comfy too.
I like it.
This also has 4 fucking pockets.
Mike.
4 pockets and 4 pockets on the pants. It's very useful.
There you go. There you go.
It also looks nice too.
It does. Yeah, you're rocking it. And you're probably wondering, why am I staring at your head right now? Because it reminds me, bro, I'm now growing out my hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the way yours is longer. I used to always get because you mentioned militarized. I used to always pretty much get a borderline buzz cut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with it.
I feel like every guy when they were a child had to get a buzz cut. I feel like that was kind of the thing. Your dad was just like, you either get a buzz cut or you're not a man, you're just gay or something, I don't know. But basically I feel like every kid's had it, and basically that's why no kids really want to be bald, is because they had it because they had to get rid of their hair when they were younger. That's kind of why I'm growing my hair out. I'm gonna grow it out to my shoulders.
I fuck with it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get that Jesus hair. It's gonna be really fucking thick though, so it's gonna be interesting to maintain. But
it's funny you mentioned the bald spot. I actually have a bald spot that gladly I grow out. Shout out my dad's genetics. And it's funny you mentioned when you get when you're younger, and it was like, oh, you need to get a buzz cut. My mom was the one that'd be like, oh, maybe you should grow the hair out. It was like a mix, and I thought I was like, oh, my mom, you're just being nice, because moms are like, you look good no matter what, and I'm like, bro, finally, because I look like an egg with me. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, bro. One big thing that I'm noticing, because this is, it's going to be uploaded as episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, it's how small the world is.
Indeed.
Everyone knows each other. It's fucking crazy. As you mentioned, Stoughton. I was literally the person I recorded an episode with a couple of days ago. His name is Daniel.
Right.
And we met at the Stoughton Y camp.
Okay.
So I have some Stoughton names that just dawned on me.
Oh, nice.
You might know it.
Okay.
Here we go. It's going to be rapid fire.
All right.
Do you know Rachel Call?
Yes.
Julia Awad?
Yes.
Megan Heffernan?
No.
Okay. There is, do you know Bob? There's one other person. I don't know. But I would go there in the summer because I used to be on this weight loss craze.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful ass school. My God, have you been in it?
No. I haven't been privileged enough to go to many schools, tour many of them.
No, the Stoughton High.
Oh yeah, the new one you mean? I've been inside briefly. I don't really remember it. It is nice though. It's a nice building. Remember the gymnasium the most.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get to go to school when they built it. They were literally building it as I was I remember looking out in math class and it'd be like, oh, they're building it. Teacher would have to yell sometimes because of the construction. It was pretty funny.
It's loud as fuck, right?
Yeah. Not that I give a shit. I fucking hated math class.
I've actually held off math. So I'm almost done at BSU. I got 10 classes.
Hell yeah.
I have 5 now, 5 in the fall. I'm leaving not to the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear people, people are either a math and science person or a history English person.
I'm definitely more history and English.
I'll give you a third one. Oh my gosh, let's go. I can't compute this shit. Why goes MX plus B?
No, it's dumb as shit.
And we're not even gonna need it.
Nope.
It's insane. So I wanna be in the radio field. So radio and landscaping, you don't need fucking Y equals MX plus B.
No, you don't need it.
But you know what we do need? Another Aetha. Can you imagine? Imagine if I did it.
That'd be crazy.
You know how many people have asked me, Thomas, can you be the one? Can I be the one with you when you do it the first time? That'd be history.
That would be history.
So the superstars, you mentioned we got to go there.
Mm-hmm.
that reminded me also of, you remember when I would give you those business calls, like I'm doing the biggest fucking crossovers.
Mm.
We did the Westgate one. The Westgate one was first.
The Westgate one was first. You are right.
I'm gonna give you some behind the scenes. I was in the parking lot of my aunt's building facility place,
Okay.
and it was like raining. And I was like, no one's free on this Friday night, but more people I think will be free on the Saturday night. I literally invited, I don't even think I told you this. I invited literally like, it was last minute, so sadly some people couldn't, but I texted 62 people. That one that we did over Jason, you, Mills, Trevor, Tony, Seamus, Tyler, Delaney, Raphael, and I'm missing some. And one of the things that I was thinking, sending you the confirmation text for this, is how good you are, just like me, making new friends, having good conversations with people.
It came with time, certainly. I wasn't always very sociable when I was a youngster, but it's definitely something you kind of have to warm up to and adapt. And the only way you do it is just by going out there and just talking. And this is my first time on a podcast ever, like being out in like recorded media, like, or at least for a while. But it's kind of nice being able to do this, honestly, being able to just talk. And also, if people agree with me, that's a plus too.
That's right. That was smooth. Was there a specific event that made you more social? Because I used to be super shy back then too.
I don't believe in the idea of there's one definitive thing that turns the tide. I think it's a slow progression, like with everything else. Because you don't win a war overnight. It comes with time, like everything else. And it takes time for you to win your own battles. But eventually you do, and eventually you get past them. And I always believe in the philosophy, you have to be tough to get through life. Because everybody who's living right now is a tough person. Like everybody who can just fucking deal with all the bullshit around them. It takes a tough person to be able to go through that every day. Well, the average person. It's not the same for everybody, but it's ultimately hard being an average person. You know what I mean?
You agree with the philosophy of like sometimes a life is too easy, it could make it harder for the person because they don't have the needed adversity. Like if everything, the doors are open all the time, where it's like when the adversity finally does happen, they don't know how to deal with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely those who come from more privileged backgrounds, I would argue for sure. Like when they get their inheritance money, they often fucking blow it.
Yeah.
Like they don't they're not smart with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of how like a lot of things, like a lot of business, like empires and businesses like fell apart, is because the heirs to their inheritance were often irresponsible with it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, daddy's,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of get cocky with it. They think, oh, it's never gonna run.
Yep.
This is a dynasty. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, slow your roll.
Indeed.
Because I think I posted like maybe like a year ago where it's like, in my opinion, two of the most important words in the dictionary, obviously not the, but some of them are environment and perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes the environment can shape you as a person, whether good or bad. And the perspective is key because it's like you can have horrible circumstances, but if you, like you said, be a tough person like everyone else that's alive, if you really think about it, then it kind of helps you towards and makes the process better.
Oh, of course.
Because the highs and lows, it happens. It's how you deal with the highs and lows. I remember I met Julian Edelman from the Patriots, and my brother couldn't make it. He had a school project to do, and he's a huge fan of him. So I just got a video, and he looked at, and he was like, "Hey, Harold, if you're ever going through a tough time, tough times don't last. Tough people do."
Mm.
I was like, it was kind of like simple, but also not at the same time agree with it.
It's a simple but effective phrase that probably worked for the time being, especially from somebody that he probably looked up to as much as he did.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a lot of sense.
This conversation gives a segue to something that I usually ask towards the end, but I'll ask it now.
Okay.
I ask all the viewers, if the viewers want to reply in the comments, they can if they want. But I ask all of the people that join me on the pod, what makes life so beautiful?
That's a good question. I guess from my perspective, what makes life beautiful is being able to do the things that, make you happy. Like, obviously, I get to do this. I get to spend time with my friend. That makes me happy. I get to do things like I make good money now. Like, for the first time, I feel like I'm comfortable where I'm at financially. So I get to actually do things with my money that I haven't been able to do before. It's how I was able to get nice clothes. It's how I was able to, get the movies that I had in my collection. But outside of that, I think what really makes life beautiful is being able to just really soak things in. Like, I was downstairs in the hall waiting for you, and I kind of was just looking around, kind of just admiring a lot of it, just taking it all in, and thinking to myself, I don't really get to go in nice architecture like this anymore. So I think finding smaller things to value is very important. No matter what the time is. I guess that's the short answer.
Oh, you can answer however way you want.
I guess if I were to elaborate more, there's a lot of times in landscaping where I'm not gonna lie, I get fucking frustrated where it's either like a crew member or somebody is or a superior, and I kind of just look around. It's usually the summer or the spring. Usually the summer is when I enjoy it the most because it's mow season. It's fast. It's more my speed. But being able to be in nature is really nice. That's kind of one of my favorite things about the job. Honestly, is just being outside, being in nature, just kind of getting fresh air and all that good stuff.
It's like the best medicine.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I hate the Lorax. Like, probably like, wow, I didn't expect the Lorax to be mentioned, but I always skip through that time when they just make it all industrial. Because it's the best medicine. It's the medicine that people kind of gloss over. They don't really think about it. But it's like summertime, like when I used to work at summer camp. What's it? Oh, random burp. Seems to happen on the podcast. I don't know why it's random burp. But just the vitamin D, is that what it's called from the sunlight? Yeah. Vitamin D, just like, it's just insane what it does to physical and mental,
Oh, yeah. It's amazing the change you can notice in yourself when you just go outside more, honestly. And when I do leave landscaping, that is something I will admittedly miss the most, is being able to go outside. And honestly, also being away from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, when my superiors aren't there, it's nice.
What do you want to do post landscaping?
I ideally want to get into filmmaking, and ideally would like to write, but it's a little hard at the moment, Sometimes it just doesn't come to you. And also, it's kind of hard to, get a good budget, especially when there's no, film festivals playing near you and such. It's kind of hard to, pitch a script. But I would like to do it someday. It's something that I would eventually I would like to at least make one film someday. Whether I'll be good at it, I think that'll be up to other people. But, hopefully I am.
How are you on the world of music? Like, what type of music are you into?
I'm into all sorts of types.
Are you the type where it's like, and if you are, it's fine, but you're the type where it's like, I'm into anything but country and metal.
No, I'm not. I'm not that. I'm not the one of those guys. I'm a little bit more nuanced than that. I genuinely like everything. I guess like for me what I'm stumbling over.
Good, all good.
I think what makes me connect to the music that I like the most is either the beats or like the lyrics, and like I like not necessarily just songs with a meaning, but also songs that are just like, you know, memorable, and also, but not memorable in an annoying way. That's kind of why I loved Brat so much, because every fucking song in that album was really fucking memorable and really good. It was solid. I also like a lot of Kanye stuff, but I know he's a Nazi again, so
Yeah. I, bro. So,
dude, that was so wild. Uncle Crash Out in real time.
it's like one of the rare times where I'm speechless, where it's like,
Again.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest on the pod. It's like, obviously, it's like one of those things where people say the PR thing, which they do mean it when they say it. Like, what I'm about to say is what I do mean legitimately, but it sounds like it's like forced, but it is how I truly feel. I don't agree with the things that he said on X.
Oh, obviously, of course.
I hate. I would hate if anyone said it, like that's a celebrity or anyone in general, especially him when it comes to celebrity wise, because you know I'm a massive fan of his music.
Oh yeah.
I have some of his merch. So to see that, him of all people, and I'm like, no, oh my,
Yeah, what literally an Uncle Crash Out though. But like what's remarkable about this Crash Out though is that like he somehow topped his 2022 like freak out.
yeah,
And like you don't even see any footage of him. You just see what he's like saying on X. And some of it's incomprehensible. Like some of it's like illegitimate. Like when he was like he sounded like he woke up and like did another DEFCON 3 and like fell back asleep. It's that illegitimate.
he basically said almost any negative thing except being like, I killed someone, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I beat women. He said, well, just the worst things you could possibly.
He said free puff. He opened with that. Like that's crazy.
And people were like, oh, maybe he got hacked. And I'm thinking, do you not know how he usually types? Like it's like, it sadly was believable that it was him.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes like because we were just talking about, hackers.
Right.
They don't make it obvious. It's just obvious that it was him. You know what I mean? And I was like, how long it was too? It wasn't like a couple hours. It was pretty much like 36 hours or some shit.
Yeah, it was a day and a half.
Yeah, it was something. And he wasted $7 million of his money for a Super Bowl ad, him on a dentist chair.
Yep, I saw that.
And
that was wild.
Now the website's gone.
Yep.
Yeah,
because he had free puff logos and a swastika for a shirt.
Exactly. I was like,
100,000 people bought that swastika shirt, by the way.
Serious?
Yeah, I'm not joking. Like before the website shut down, like there's 100,000 purchases of that shirt.
That's scary to think about.
It is scary, honestly.
That shows that he can literally say anything and there will still be people.
There'll always be simps for him, unfortunately.
Yeah. Like no matter what. Like that proves it right there. That proves it. I couldn't believe it. Like, where a thing where it's like, it's believable that it happened, but your brain tries to tell you like, oh, maybe there's a chance it's not him. That kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going through at first. I was like, maybe I was holding out hope. I'm like,
they cloned the Ron Kanye, dude. They didn't clone Galaxy Gas Kanye. They cloned Nazi Kanye.
I saw the thing about like, because he said something about like, I think it was like 2 years ago. He said, if I disappear and come back, it's not me. But in the same time, he's been doing these disappearing things for like a decade plus. Like he's had those retreats where he's gone to Japan and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not out of character.
He went to Africa and supposedly he almost got assassinated.
So how much knowledge does my friend have on the music? Do you know about his unreleased stuff?
Yes, I do.
So that was the Yandi era.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I heard about that because they had like they have a 2018 documentary.
Oh, Jesus, right?
No, it was like,
Oh, not the Netflix one?
no, that was, you're thinking of,
Genius. Okay, that's right.
there's a one on YouTube called 500 Days in UCLA.
Oh, I haven't heard of this.
It's like 3 hours and 15 minutes long.
Huh.
It's not even like organized. It's just pretty much just videos. And it's kind of like, I don't know, but it's during that era. Some videos of him in Africa with him, Kim, and North in Africa and stuff. But I've heard that. Because I always wondered what happened with Yandi. Maybe some drastic stuff happened while he was there.
Indeed. There was some pretty fucked up shit that happened during that whole fucking escapade, honestly. Yeah. Honestly, like, obviously Kanye should be medicated. But I don't know if you saw this interview, but he stopped taking his medication before he went on X and had his freak out. Because he was under the assumption that, like, oh, since I'm autistic, I can't be bipolar.
Oh, is that the most recent one, right? Where he's wearing like kind of like a shirt of the color of what I'm wearing with the sweatshirt, right? It's the newest one.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, Bianca said I should go get it checked because he was like, oh, I've seen bipolar before.
Yeah.
Bipolar. And he was like, I actually have a form of autism.
Yeah.
Which I'm letting more behind the scenes stuff out on the pod right now. And like it's probably one of the biggest behind the scenes things I've ever said on the pod ever.
All right, shoot.
But in 2009, I was diagnosed with a form of autism.
Okay.
Asperger's syndrome.
Okay.
So it's like him saying that and then doing that stuff. Not that people look at me differently because they're not going to think I'm going to say the horrible stuff that he said.
Right.
But it's like just not a good look for people who do have it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's kind of like what happened when Elon did his Sea Kyle. A lot of the right tried to use the excuse, oh, he's autistic. He doesn't know what he's doing. I'm just like, bro, I'm autistic. I'm not going to fucking see Kyle in like a stadium full of people.
Yeah.
Like, he knew what he was doing. Like, all billionaires have a PR team and nobody stops him.
Yeah.
So his team also believed he was doing the right thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting how people like to use disabilities as like an argument to excuse somebody else's behavior when they don't know anything about it themselves.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny. Sorry.
It's like insane how it happened, so short time in between. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, there's no way he could say worse. And then when it refreshed, spoiler, it got even. Like, I was flabbergasted. I was like, I didn't even think, another random burp. I didn't even think it was possible. And
my jaw did drop a few times. Yeah.
the comment that I don't understand by other people, like when I say other people, I mean like people who are like watching on like us, pretty much everyone on the world that's not kind of.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, what really got me is the fuck Virgil. And as bad as it is to say, fuck you, pretty much to, his former best friend, well, still best friend. The crazier stuff that he said didn't get you, but that's the one that got you? Like, are you serious? Like, what the hell?
I think it's pretty funny how Kanye is like weirdly racist against like other black people as well. Because, like, when he says his anti-Semitic stuff, it's not like a Louis Farrakhan kind of way, where it's just like blacks are being manipulated by Jews. This is like a guy simping for a white nationalist. But I don't. I think in 2022, what made that a little different is I think people were just like, oh, Kanye's just having a crash out, and people didn't think he actually believed that. At least I didn't. I didn't think, because how could you? How could you believe something that crazy? You would assume he was having a bipolar episode.
Mm.
But, like, it keeps coming up. It keeps resurfacing. So, let me ask you something. What's your favorite Kanye album?
Before you asked that again, I was like, I hope he remembers what I said before. I was like, you can ask me whatever as well. Okay, so before I answer that, my least favorite one
Okay, do your least favorite. Okay.
is going to be a hot take, and I know people in LSG aren't going to agree with me, especially the person that I just remembered we're going to prank call him. I always tell him that my least favorite one of his is 808s.
That's a good take. I like that take, honestly.
It's good, but it's very, very hot.
There's only one song from that album that I genuinely love.
Streetlight?
It's Welcome to Heartbreak.
That one's good too.
Yeah.
It's good too.
That one's the one I really fuck with.
That's the one I was like, and my head keeps spinning.
She's feeling, gotta keep winning.
So 2 years ago, I was actually having a debate with the people from LSG. We were at this random Orange Leaf in Norwood. Shout out Orange Leaf.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Orange Leaf.
And it's kind of full circle because they used to be so popular pre-COVID. That's where we all started with the talk.
Yeah.
And now they're not there. But we were actually talking about the best albums of his. And at that time, I said Life of Pablo. Which, looking back at it,
I don't agree with.
I agree. No, I agree of you not agreeing because
Exactly. No, that's what I was saying. I know what you meant.
now I would say, okay, I'm always back and forth on this. I'm gonna say, so I think, in my opinion, best album of his for like good and bad mood would be Donda. I don't know what it is. Come to Life, Off the Grid, Hurricane, but overall, I would say My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is, I know it's the based one. I know it's the one most people say, but that's what I would say. How about you?
I enjoy songs from that album as well, but to me, that's not the definitive Kanye album for me. I would guess say if I were to go with most definitive Kanye album, obviously it'd be Graduation. Graduation is a classic. Like, there's not one bad song from that album.
That is true.
Like
Even Barry Bonds is good.
yeah, it's all good.
That's right.
Oh, it's fucking fire. When your knees bow so low, hit your forehead. We out of here, man.
Lil Wayne in it too.
Dude, his verse is actually really good in that song too. It's actually where I learned to appreciate his music a little bit more, honestly, is through Graduation. But I guess my favorite might be Jesus, honestly.
I heard that's North too.
Yeah, I guess the reason for me is obviously, like, his tone is a lot different in this album. This is where Kanye, I think, has started to progress to, like, you know, being a little silly. This is his most serious album to a degree, because he's kind of at his most unhinged. Obviously, Vultures is his most unhinged, but like that's because of like neo-Nazi bullshit. This is like a genuinely like good album if you understand like where he's coming from manically, because like he has a song called "I Am a God." Also, you can kind of hint at where he would go with 2022 because he has a song called Black Skinhead in that album.
And there's a lot of like Travis Scott, like a lot of inspiration of Kanye's work in Travis Scott's new Utopia.
Indeed. Well, I also think this album's really great because like Kanye's like really experimenting with his sound a lot more too. Like his work, this is the most different his music has sounded, probably, honestly. Obviously, we're not going to count his unreleased works, but if we were counting his official albums, this is his most different. This is his outlier.
Have you heard of Ye Tracker?
I believe so, yeah.
Pretty much any unreleased song that you can think of. Not everyone, but decent.
I haven't listened to every Kanye album, I'll be honest, but
Which one haven't you, if you don't mind?
the only one I haven't listened to of his official works is Donna.
Hello?
No. I want to listen to it in its entirety. I want to give it the chance to listen to it in its entirety because I've heard it's better that way.
Come to life will change your...
Probably. I've heard that.
Oh my gosh, it is. It's something. And then Moon, understandably, at night is insane.
That's also his longest album, isn't it? That's like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, especially when you also add the deluxe in there too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Which one should I start off with?
What, song-wise?
No, album-wise. Should I start off with the deluxe or should I start off with the regular cut?
Regular.
Okay, gotcha.
Because he did I don't know, he cared about it because, obviously the name of it is pretty much a dedication to Donda.
Yeah.
But like, he also kind of didn't because there was a lot of part twos repeating in the part twos. So it's kind of like a little messy, But yeah, I'm glad I got the fist pump for 808s because usually I get backlash for it. It's like, 808.
No, that's a good take. I like it.
But it has, I'm glad it does exist because it's influenced a lot of today's work.
Oh, I would agree.
Like it really opened up the doors. I heard Michael Jackson listen to it and he said that he liked the style.
Yeah, what's interesting to read about the history of Michael Jackson and Kanye is not only the fact that Michael Jackson is also a known anti-Semite, interestingly enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because that whole court case, when he was found not guilty, I don't think Michael Jackson actually molested any kids. I don't know if that's a hot take to anybody.
One of them they said was Macaulay Culkin, right?
Indeed, but he also said that it didn't happen either.
I heard it, yeah.
Yeah. So basically what happened after that, after he won that, he kind of held a resentment against Jews for like the rest of his life because the family who went against him was a Jewish family.
See, that's what I don't like. There's a lot. Like, did you see the podcast that Kanye had with Lex Friedman?
No, I did not see that.
Do you know who Lex Friedman is?
I don't think so.
I might fuck it up, but he's like big on the AI, like research and something with technology. But
okay, that kind of makes sense. But yeah,
he was on a podcast with Kanye,
and
Lex said it perfectly. It's like if I remember correctly, he said something like, "There's bad in all nationality, race, skin color." You know what I mean?
Yep.
But like, there's not one section where all the members of the group are bad. So I don't like that thing where it's like what you said with MJ, where it happened and he resented all. It's like, it's not all that are bad. There's, some that are
right,
but it's not because they're Jewish.
Of course.
It's just who they are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's what they believe as a religion. It's not anything to do as far as motive because they just wanted money.
What was the thing? He like got into like a lawsuit with like Sony, right? Like he was saying something like stuff like, I don't want Sony to get my catalog or something. This is like, it just shows that like the stuff that when we were younger, we didn't know it. And it was happening in like 2009. So we were like close to 10. We didn't know any about this behind the scenes stuff, which, wild to think about, that people who are like 10 years younger than we are right now, they're going to grow up and find out the stuff that's happening. Kanye. But at the same time, I'm not sure, because like what we said about the phones and all the information, I'm going to sound like an unk right now, but I feel like these kids are finding out more stuff now than when we were their age.
Oh, probably. Definitely. And at a faster rate, too.
Mm,
Because you don't see a kid at the library no more, I'll tell you that.
that's sad.
It's sad, yeah, definitely. It's also very convenient, so I'm not gonna lie. If it's cold out, I don't want to go to a library. I'll just read a book at home if I really want a book.
Barnes and Noble is starting to become one of my favorite places.
Barnes and Nobles is a good place. They also sell 50% off Criterions during July and November, so if you really want to get some good movies, yeah, definitely take a trip there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand why there's like podcast hosts that repeat stuff that they said to other guests, because I feel like I said this in a prior episode at this point. Barnes and Noble could be a good place to find something. I've seen some pretty cute females over there. They're reading their book, and I'm like, oh, nice studious. Nice studious.
Nice studious, yes.
It's like, oh, what are you reading? It kind of like shows like who they are.
Okay.
Too.
It's revealing as a person, and it's kind of intriguing.
Exactly, because like the people who like maybe fast forward on the episode, they'll go to here and they'll see me looking at my phone, but obviously they can't see what's on my phone, which is again Chris Flanagan. You're gonna get prank called later.
Actually have a hot take about dates too. Mm-hmm.
Get what let's hear it. Let's hear it. I like it.
So, you know when like you're taking your partner out,
Mm-hmm.
and usually it's dinner first and it's a movie, right? I think the movie should be first. And the reason is because when you go to dinner, you have something to talk about.
Ooh.
So you're not just like trying to make conversation awkwardly at dinner at first. You could kind of just sit in silence with the movie and then like kind of talk to them after, see what they thought about it. And that would be very revealing to who they are as a person and what their tastes are.
I just wrote that down on my brain because I'm gonna need that in the future.
Mm.
Holy crap! Oh my gosh! Yeah, because it's like that is so smooth. Because if you do it the other way around, then there's not as much topics at dinner.
Nope.
And then you're ending off with, especially if you guys brought two different cars, you're ending off with not really talking.
And then leaving.
Yes,
Yeah.
horrible way to end it off.
Mm.
Oh my gosh! You in advance?
Of course.
Gosh. Did that just come to you, or?
No, I've honestly had that thought for a while. It works. It works. Indeed, it does.
So it's approved. It's, like they say, it's FDA approved. It's been tested.
It's scientifically tested, yes.
Where's like it? Because this was posted. I mean, this was recorded. Less than 48 hours from Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
But for anyone listening that's looking for the ideas, do you have like any other places that would be a good, like specifically first one?
Me. Oh.
Would you have any ideas? Because that gave me the idea of the question. Like any outside the box ones.
Go for a clothing date.
Oh.
You get to find out what kind of clothes they like, what styles they like, to see how you can like mix and match with them and shit like that. And plus, if it's a woman, they'll spend hours there, and they'll love you for it.
Oh my, yeah, because a little goes a long way.
Not to be sexist.
Yeah, it wasn't. Don't worry. A little goes a long way because they love when just like with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like just even walking around, you don't even have to say anything. If you're like just with them while they're like looking through clothes that they would like.
Oh, it makes them so happy.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's like
it's super validating for them too.
Yeah.
Because you're like they're getting feedback from you, the person they want to impress, ideally.
Yeah. How do you feel about the apps?
They're good for people who struggle socially, but not so ideal for somebody maybe like me. who prefers like meeting people in person and actually experience things with them. Because a lot of the things on the apps that people don't talk about is like a lot of them, like a lot of the good ones are far away.
I'm glad it's not just me that thinks.
Yeah, a lot of the ones that are like actually serious, good looking, basically the unicorns are like a state away or something. I'm just like, oh man, I can't do this.
Yeah, it's like it could be like high up Connecticut. It's like, bro, I'm in Mass.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I mean, it's just so inconvenient, and sometimes you can't really tell. And this is with anyone, obviously. Like with text, sometimes you can't tell the vibe that they're trying to portray on a message.
Exactly.
Someone you don't know,
Yep.
you know, and especially if there's no emojis, you can get this wrong idea when they're not even trying to portray that.
Yep.
It's insane because I've been back and forth on them over the years. Obviously, when I'm single,
Right.
like, but yeah, I've been.
Oh, you got a shorty now?
What happened?
You got a shorty now?
No, I tell you.
Oh,
I
okay,
tell-
okay.
I tell you. I know I've mentioned this guy Chris before, but there was this time when I was talking to someone, and I was smiling at my phone. This is like years ago, and we were at this random Rhode Island McDonald's, and I was smiling at my phone, and he was like, "What's happening? What's happening? Is there a girl?" And I looked at it, I was like, "I'd tell you," but I was trying to keep it low key until things became official. They became official in the end. But he jokes around with me. He's like, I'd tell you. But no, but legitimately, no fingers crossed that's another full circle because we were talking about it. No fingers crossed. Tommy has no girl right now. But yeah, I've been back and forth over the years during my single years on the apps, and it's kind of like the thing where it's like there's no one group where all the members are bad, but there are some, not all, but some of the people on there are just whoa, and not a good whoa.
They're psychotic. Some of them.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of girls complain about the nice guys trope, but it works just as much for women. There's a nice girl trope, too.
Oh, like the nice girls don't get.
Oh, like, they like
Is that what you mean?
like they kind of similar to guys, but like nice guys in regard to they'll butter you up. They'll be like, oh, like, and then when they don't get what they want, they like soy and they get upset. And then you're just like, wow, you just ruined everything. Cool.
What I don't like is like how quick, not the attention span, but just like the interest level, how quick it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Apps.
Oh yeah.
And what stinks for some people who aren't us, because we are, extroverts, it makes it easier for us because we're better at making conversations
Right.
with people. But sadly, for some of the introverts, if you think about it like this, if there's an introvert watching or listening to this right now who is single, like I said, obviously, introverted, graduated school already, and like works like remote or something, like that stuff fascinates me where it's like, where's the outlet? Because I've had a conversation with someone before. It's like, where's the outlet that the chance could happen? The only thing I could think of for someone in that bracket would be just overall in public, because you're done with school. You have coworkers, but you're not really seeing them in person.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not the best socially with starting conversations. So it has to be like you're going to the grocery store or like a Barnes and Noble, like I mentioned.
Right.
And that's what's crazy about with everything being technologically based. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's kind of based in technology, that is.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I had to make that joke again.
You're fine. It was another brain fart of mine. I was like, huh? And then I realized. So, do you think? I don't know. Maybe this is the optimist in me. I feel like it's getting better, or it's like not a fad, but the books are starting to become more bigger now because people get sick of their phones. Do you feel like maybe a shift in that sense, or some people are starting to go against social media? Because I know people that are like, they're on a phone cleanse. Shout out Josh, shout out Kaylee. So do you feel a little bit of that shift? You know what I mean?
I do. I do and I don't. I feel like a lot of people are gravitating off of social media because it's just become another mainstream media outlet, essentially. At least for in a news sense. There's obviously shitposty things that you can find on Twitter and like shit. I'm never gonna call it X. I'm never gonna call it X. Shout out to the second African American president, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I love that joke so much.
I always forget that he's from South Africa, right?
Indeed, yes.
Always forget that. Oh my gosh. And you can tell that Trump gets mad when people ask, like, he's not. He's not the guy that runs things. It's not Elon. It's me. I'm telling you, it's me.
He's not the guy.
That's right. It really like takes a bullet towards his ego.
Did you see what his kid said to him? Like when they were at the press conference and Elon was
Yesterday, right?
yeah, and Elon was there with his kid and he's like, "Shush, go away." Trump. He's so fucking. So in the middle of the press conference when Elon was like talking, like you can hear him a little bit be like, "Go away." Shush, go away.
What if he's like, this is my dad's office?
That's pretty much what he was doing. Yeah. Even that kid knows that Elon's the president. It's crazy.
And then, what does he have? Like, how many kids does he have? Doesn't he have like 6 kids or something?
Elon has a trans kid who he disowned, and which she's completely fine with. And she completely ratios him every time, like a lot on like threads. It's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of the reasons why I'm actually considering getting threads, because I'm like, wow, I really want to see Elon get ratioed on their rival site.
Isn't Blue Sky a new one that's also like what Twitter is?
Blue Sky is also new. I'd be interested in checking that out too, but I don't want to get too many social media apps and accounts and shit like that. I'm mainly predominant on Letterboxd. If I were to like be active on a social media account outside of Letterboxd, it'd probably be for like shit posting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't take internet conversation seriously. I can't anymore.
With me, I'm like, my least favorite one is Snapchat.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think the only thing that's keeping me there is the Snapchat memories. And it's too much work to download all of them. That's the only thing that's keeping a tug of
war.
Yeah, with it, you know?
Yeah, it kind of makes you wrestle with the idea more, because that's how they get you though.
Mm.
They're just like, oh, do you have all these things? Are you sure you want to throw it away? They kind of just hold it over your head.
It's insane. Like when I'm not using it, the notifications will pop up of like that someone posted a story, and I'm like, I would never get that when I was using it often, you know? So they know when you're not on it.
Yep.
It's fucking weird.
I know, I hate it. It's the same thing with me.
Yeah.
I never go on that shit either.
Yeah, definitely Snapchat's definitely less. And what else? I would say I used to hate Instagram.
Are we gonna tier rank social media platforms? Is that what we're gonna do right now? I'm down to do it. It sounds like we were already kind of on the way to doing that anyways.
So least to greatest, the ones that I have.
How about I give you like a social media outlet and you could just tell me where it ranks on the tier list,
Okay.
like S through F.
Okay. So S is the top.
S is top tier, yeah.
Okay.
And then F is like bottom tier. Everything else is like in between. But A is high in between and so on. I guess I'll start with Facebook.
I'd say that is a C.
I agree. It's probably a C tier. I might give it a D though, because I really don't like using that site.
A lot of out of touch older plot.
I think what was pretty great about Facebook is that you got to see like family members literally arguing online instead of in their own house, which is pretty awesome.
That's true.
I guess Twitter now. Twitter/X.
I'm barely on it. I would say
I'm not on that either.
I'd say D.
Yeah, I would agree.
Actually, yeah, D.
Nah, yeah, maybe C, because there's a little bit less brain rot on there than Facebook, but not by much. Especially because Elon took over, there's much more. Instagram.
I would say that's. I don't think I would give any of them S, but I would say A for Instagram.
Yeah, I would give Instagram an A too. Yeah, they're really good. Reddit. Reddit, I might give an S because I really like it. I really like that site. But I guess the only thing holding me back from giving it an S is just there's a lot of stupid people on there. There really is.
Yeah, I don't have an account for it, but every time I'm on there to find an answer for something, it kind of reels me in. No pun intended. It reels me in of like, one day I'm gonna see my ass. You know, so it's
Oh yeah, dude.
like the wild, wild west.
Indeed. It's kind of what 4chan should have been.
I remember 4chan. Do you remember Tumblr?
Mm,
And then obviously the most famous, not forgotten, but the most famous old one is
MySpace, yeah. I never got a MySpace account.
I only got Facebook because my dad in 2008 did, very specific. My dad in 2008 had like the Farmville and the Calf World games and stuff.
Yeah.
And you needed like game invites or whatever. So he made an account for me. I didn't use it at the time, but when the time came, I just used that account. So now I still have it to this day.
Wow. That's funny.
But I kept changing the password because I was like, can't let anyone get access to it. I didn't want to get hacked almost on Facebook Messenger.
I know, dude.
Shout out to Jonathan.
That was some crazy fucking like spy game shit right there.
Yeah.
Dude, I felt like a spy kid.
Feel like,
Dude, if I didn't change that password, it would have been 3D game over, man.
and I hate how, you know that Meta, obviously, I'm guessing you know Meta owns Instagram.
Mm.
So, like, isn't it kind of like if you lose that, it's kind of like you lose both, right?
I definitely checked Instagram afterwards, but it didn't happen. Fortunately.
That would have been some.
It certainly would have been. It would have been quite interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, because it's like the years of hard work that people have on there. It's like, I don't know. I'm a mix of it because I think, fuck, I don't want to get hacked. I lose all this stuff, but at the same time, kind of be peaceful because it's like you start fresh, no expectations, no pressure. You just like, it's like clean slate or whatever, you know?
It's kind of true. I think it's pretty funny how my parents aren't friends with me on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. They took me off as a friend. Like when I was
It's the other way around.
I know. It was really funny. I'm like, okay. I think they were just mad because I was dating somebody that they didn't like, and they were just sick of me being, I guess, happy at the time. I was 17. That sounds really petty of me, but it's kind of true. In a way. That's why they did it.
I thought you were like joking. It actually did happen.
It did happen, yeah.
Wow.
It did happen. I wish I was joking, yeah.
Because
They still haven't added me back as a friend all these years later. It's pretty funny.
it's so wild because it's usually like the other way. Like I said, it's usually the other way around. Usually it's the kid that's like, you know, I don't want to see your stuff, mom and dad. You know, I don't want, or they don't want the parents to see what they're posting.
It didn't make a difference to me because, you know, if I unadded them, they would have bitched at me. So them doing it for me kind of just worked out in the end.
I made it easier.
I suppose so, yeah.
And what wasn't easy.
No, you're good.
Oh,
Yeah, that was me.
what wasn't easy
Mm.
is like what you were saying earlier. You were like, you got to go through the hard stuff to get stronger and stuff.
Right.
And This is gonna be hard for Chris Flame.
Oh yes, it will be.
Are you ready for this?
I am ready. Yes.
So should I give you the number and then from your phone, right?
Oh, you want me to do it from my phone? I'll do it from my phone.
I could do the start. I could do the start.
Oh, I don't care. He might not pick up if it's *69.
Oh, is that what it is? *69?
Indeed.
Oh shit! You know what? Let me actually show you his number. I don't want to. I just realized I was gonna say his number. Oh,
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
I almost did.
If you did that, you would have had to censor it.
That's right. That'd be too much work.
Mm-hmm.
How should we pull it off?
I have an idea for how I pranked my mom one time.
What do you do? Like a different voice? But even if you did your regular voice,
I did a different voice, but I also said that, like, I was being picked up at the police station and that I needed bail. So I could do that and say, I picked your friend Thomas Peterson up. He said he needed bail.
That's perfect.
So I could do that and finish
Wait.
getting his number. So we should probably coordinate.
Okay. So,
Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
I think he knows all my voices and shit. So yeah, if you're down.
All right, I'm down. All right.
So how do we do? Do we put it up to the mic, or I'm new to this podcast prank call?
I guess we can put it up to the mic and.
Yeah, so I'd probably like up to here, right? So that way it's not super close, I guess. So yeah, I'm sure if it's on speaker, it'll kind of pick it up, I guess.
Okay.
Oh. Here we go. We're coming right now. And into it. Will he answer?
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Christopher Flanagan, this is the Bridgewater State Police. We need you to pick up for a Thomas Peterson immediately. He is requesting a bail of $500 for a DUI. He's requested that we call this number and inform you that you get to the police station immediately. Please call back. Thank you very much.
Let me give you the fourth one. That was beautiful, but then I just realized the DUI part. If you're like, no, this isn't. But, I don't know. People do different things.
Well, he'd probably be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Oh, shit. And then I'm going to check here. If he heard.
I'll say his drink got spiked. I'll recover.
Yeah, they'll probably be like, oh, what happened to the drink? Let's see. Oh, so I got something coincidentally. He just sent me an audio file.
Oh, that's funny.
So what a coincidence, because there's no way.
Bro, ain't no way.
Because it can't.
That'd be so funny.
Oh my gosh, it was so quick. Oh my gosh. He literally sent the voicemail.
For Flanagan, this is the Bridgewater State Police. We need you to pick up for a Thomas Peterson immediately. He is requesting a bail of $500 for a DUI. He requested that you call and inform them that you get to the police station immediately. Please call back. Thank you very much.
He sent a couple like letters that I have not seen in years. Sent the LMAO.
No, that's great.
Oh, he'll get a reply after this episode. Wow, that was
crazy.
because he makes music. I thought he was gonna like send me a thing about like his newest unreleased or whatever, but like which is fire. But wow, that was quick as fuck. I didn't even know you could do that.
That's crazy. No, I mean I did know that, but like it was pretty quick.
Because he asked me today. He's like, I always try to keep like who the guest is, like a secret to a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
Have I met him before?
no, one day you will.
I shall, yes.
And I was like, he literally asked me today, who's episode 6? Because he tried to get it out of me. I would not budge.
Good for you.
And he's probably going to be like, who? He's going to be like, who did that voicemail? And I was going to be like, episode 6. So then I won't say anything about name or what you look like. So he's going to have to wait until episode 6, and that's big time shit.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Chris, if you're listening to this, you're a good sport. Thank you.
That's right. I wish he answered, but that kind of made it for people watching. They're probably going to be like, oh, he either answers and see if he falls for it, or he doesn't answer and we get nothing. But the fact that we played the voicemail back seconds later, that's rare. That doesn't really happen.
That was pretty fire. It was kind of like it was meant to be. So shout out to Chris for replying so fast, buddy.
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you. And what was meant to be is this podcast right here.
Did we get to talk about all these?
That's, there is one. There is one.
What's that?
What you gave like a behind the scenes for people who don't know. For people who don't know, I come up with this like long board of possible topics, but literally 99% of the time, the conversation flows exceptionally well with all of the guests where we don't even look at the board. We forget the board's even there. It's like a just in case type thing. And coincidentally, we're looking over at it right now. The first time we acknowledged it the entire episode, because we never acknowledged it in any of the episodes pretty much. It's kind of like a waste. And there is one more thing that wasn't mentioned on there. And the reason why this is happening, the reason why I'm across this skinny ass table with you, my friend, is not a good event that happened, but it made the blessing of me reconnecting with you.
Of course.
And nothing but love and a big rest in peace to our friend Faye. Like, when I got the news, my friend, I remember I was walking the track at the Y, and I was like, I saw a thing on Facebook, and I pressed the picture. I was like, no. I remember I used to have a crush on her at Massasoit.
Right. I remember that.
And I didn't have the guts to say anything. Shout out other Chris, like Massasoit Chris. He had the guts too. He's a legend for that and for many reasons. But I didn't know you were gonna be at the service, and seeing you, I was like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful to see you again, because I hadn't seen you for so long. And then we got to, have a amazing friendship reconnection. That's still many more events to come. And I'm glad that I saw you again. Not the best circumstances for why, but I
certainly
did see you again. They were nothing but a right soul, extremely intelligent. Do you have any words for our beloved friend?
Well, I guess there's so many things I could say, but I think the thing I would want people to know about her the most is just the fact that not only was she kind, but she was kind in a way where it didn't care if it came at her expense. She just felt like she didn't want anybody to feel the way that she felt in life. And you don't get many people like that. And you don't get many people as tough as her. Because she really was tough. And I just wish she could have held in a little bit longer. But, at the end of the day, that she's at least at peace. And, she's not suffering anymore. Because what she was suffering with was a lot. A mental illness like that consumes you. Sure you want to end the podcast like this? Unless
Oh,
I'm
don't worry.
pressing though. Okay.
Don't worry, don't worry. I just like, because obviously it's not the most positive topic, but I just felt a need, if that's all right with you,
Oh, of course.
to give respect to a amazing human being. Um, I just felt like, it was needed.
Of course.
It's just showing like an ultimate respect. And I got ultimate respect for you for being here. Like I said, you drove almost an hour to get here. And like I said, how I'm a people pleaser,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, so there's a 24-hour Cubbies from here.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel the need after this to get you at least like a snack or something. Oh, here's another random burp. I don't know what. I feel like I only burp now during podcast is weird. I feel the need after we leave here. I gotta get you at least something at the Cubbies.
I still owe you for a water. Remember?
Where?
Remember? We went to the lanes. We went to Cumbies. I forgot my wallet.
That's when we walked in the winter, right?
Yeah.
We got cardio in that time.
Oh yeah, we done.
So, first of all, you don't owe me. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, I just want to tell you I didn't forget.
Thank you. If you think about it, I know we both wanted to do this, but this can be your way of owning me back. Being on the pod. So don't worry about no water, And I always tell the people, like, when they've been on, they're like, oh, I've already been on. No, we'll have repeat guests, and I got to fix the issue that I have with the more than one mics. And when I eventually have that in the future, we can get me, you, Jason.
That could be a fun podcast episode.
Bro, I would love that.
Jason would be fucking wildin'.
That'd be legendary.
That'd be fun for sure.
I'll never forget when we were outside of Western Lanes, that big crossover episode that we had. And I think one of you guys passed the blunt to Tony.
Mm-hmm. And he fucking ripped it.
And that was the first time ever. And I got a picture of it. That's historic.
Indeed.
Then I think the first time he did a vape was in, we went to Pittsburgh, literally like a month before that. So, like, that was some all-time shit. I was there live for both of them.
Dude, he was cutting loose.
He's big-time shit, bro.
Dude, that blunt that Jason rolls, shout out to Jason for this. Rolls the best blunts. Rolls the best shit, dude. Like none of that shit gets in my teeth. It hits smoothly. Like, this is how you know Brockton's always the way to go for this shit. Like, that's how you know I'm from there.
Brockton, the city of champions.
Yeah.
The champions.
Yeah, the shoe capital of the world until it wasn't.
Oh yeah, I always forget that. There was an old Stop and Shop near my house, and it used to be a shoe factory.
That's funny.
It used to be all over the place. And I'm like, bro, I forget all about this shit. They got the Rocky Marciano. I guess he was like 50-0 or something at boxing. It's like, that's new.
He also buried all of his money, and nobody knows where it is.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
See, this is what I love about podcasts. You say stuff that my phone just went on. That was weird. This is what it is about podcasts. You say stuff that people had no idea about. At least I didn't. I didn't know about that. All of this money?
Most of it, yeah.
Is it like a Eugene Krabs thing where he's like, he didn't hide it under his bed, but he hid it, obviously, other than his bank?
Well, he was just fucking paranoid. I think a reason is because he grew up during the Great Depression, and like he probably distrusted banks because banks, didn't have a good reputation at the time.
Yeah.
Especially with that generation. So that's where the whole Eugene Krabs putting money under the mattress thing comes from.
Yes.
Is because for that generation, they didn't trust the bank to touch their money because they lost it in the Depression pretty much.
That's true. Yeah. Good. And a fun fact, we've had just as many fist pumps as we've had SpongeBob references.
Indeed.
I didn't expect SpongeBob to get mentioned even once, but that's just the power that Hilberg, did I say it right?
Hillenberg, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta get your friendship ring now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait, is that another?
Indeed. It's remember when they were like their friendship ring is like it spins as Patrick and SpongeBob holding hands.
Oh my gosh, bro! See, that's the thing. There was so many things about that show that they're still pumping out content.
Oh yeah.
And in that episode where it's the robot, or is it where Eugene is dancing to that song? I
Mm-hmm.
used to get so creeped up.
Beep boop beep boop.
Yep. And this certain camera angle when his eyes are all fucked up. I used to get so freaked out about it. I was like, every time I see that episode come up, I'd be like, I'm not watching this.
Courage the Cowardly Dog was a show that freaked me out as a kid.
Yes. Middle of nowhere type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when Cartoon Network? Please tell me you remember this too. They had like a crossover with a UFO,
Yeah.
and all the other shows were involved in it too. Camp Lazlo.
Oh, this was like on their advertisements, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Holy shit!
See, now,
Wow, now you're bringing up memories for me. Indeed. Oh my!
Cheetos. Do you remember Cheetos?
I remember those Cheetos commercials. Do you remember the
Ones?
Indeed. Do you remember the goldfish commercials? How they were like all different parts, and you have to watch all the goldfish commercials to understand the fucking story.
It's so familiar.
Oh, dude, it was like on Nick and Cartoon Network. It was like the talking goldfish.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't try anymore.
No, they don't. All advertisements are brain rot now. Now even the Super Bowl ads were good this year.
Now I'm giving you a high five. Oh my gosh. I don't see the hype about it. They're like, oh, it's really good. I don't see it.
I think it's funny that my grandmother, shout out to my grandmother, fucking ripped the Super Bowl commercials apart. It was pretty funny.
This is, like you said, brain rot. It's brain rot, and then it's also the fact of, what's it called? It's like also, I'm having another brain fart. We're talking about brains. So there's a lot of repeats. What movies too? Frozen 6.
Yeah, the Frozen 6.
When you're in the film game, I know you're going to do better than these fuckers are.
I'm going to try not to make any sequels unless it's like a Three Colors type situation where it's like a thematic trilogy. Have you ever seen the Three Colors trilogy?
I am not.
Very much recommended. First of all, they're not like trilogies like Lord of the Rings, where that's like 12 plus hours. Like each movie in this trilogy is 90 minutes. So if you don't have that much time to spare, watch these movies. But like each movie kind of represents like a different thing about the French flag, like liberty and égalité and I forget, individualism or something.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, each one of the movies kind of explore one of those themes. Blue is about a woman who lost her family in a car accident. White is about a guy who like sneaks back into Poland and gets revenge on his wife for divorcing him. That one's a comedy, and that one's really funny. I really like that one. It's also that director's last Polish film that he made, because the other two in that trilogy are French language. And then Red, which is honestly my favorite of the trilogy, is basically about like a woman's like friendship with like an older judge, but she's like a model as well. That one's really interesting and also connects the other two together really well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would do trilogies like that if I were to do trilogies. Not so much like Star Wars or shit like that, where it's the same thing.
Free Lucas or Disney? I don't know what's the answer.
Take your pick.
Well, I don't really. It's one of the famous things that I haven't really been big.
One of my hot takes is that I've hated Star Wars too.
Don't worry, you're not alone. I haven't watched Star Wars.
Based.
I haven't watched what I used to look like when I was younger.
Nice, that's based too.
I haven't watched. This one's probably the least popular out of the other two, but Star Trek.
Okay, I understand that one though. Star Trek's pretty good though when you're in the mood for it though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like a super fan of that, but I like it. Pretty good. It's not bad. It's certainly better than Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some of the things I've noticed as I get older, it's kind of like the frontal lobe thing that I was talking about with 25.
Right.
You become more self-aware than someone already would be.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed since I was younger, some things I'm hyper fixated on. So maybe that's some of the reasons why I get to know some of the other famous stuff, where it's like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not into those three famous ones. What other famous thing? I'm not big on, what's some other huge pop culture stuff?
Lord of the Rings,
Yes, that stuff. Game of Thrones.
Matrix.
Yes. What else? I remember me and my friends when we were younger, we watched The Hobbit in the movie theaters 'cause
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to. I fell asleep.
Funny.
I was like, bro, I'm not into this. What?
Even Lord of the Rings fans agree that The Hobbit is objectively bad in comparison to Lord of the Rings.
Era is that? It's like, what's the word for it again?
What do you mean by that?
Like when they not era, but what
Decade?
yeah, what style movie, what they're trying to portray? Is that
I mean, they're still portraying the same world. It's just later, so it looks more
yeah,
polished.
what world does that call them?
Oh, Middle Earth.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know what it is. That type of vibe. I'm just, yeah.
I'm down for a fantasy film that either takes itself wicked seriously, because Lord of the Rings is too fun for me. Not that I don't know, it's a little bit too childish sometimes for me. Then there are some problems with it. But I think I appreciate a fantasy film that takes its theme seriously, that presents I like Nosferatu. That technically counts as fantasy for me. I'm sorry.
That was out recently, right?
I'm not talking about that one actually because I haven't seen that one. I'm talking about the 1979 Nosferatu,
Yeah.
the German language one, directed by Werner Herzog.
See, that's what I mean about movies. That's why I got to get you and David Wood to meet, you know?
He seems like an interesting chap.
A lot of movie knowledge, you know? And speaking of,
You should come over for a movie.
I would be so down. I'd be so down, my friend.
Indeed.
And
Let me know a day.
yes, sir. We'll make it happen. So make it happen. You want to know what else we made happen?
What's up?
You made, to this day, the record for longest Peterson Podium episode.
Hell yeah.
So the record at first was an hour 45,
Okay.
and right now we're very, very
Close to 2.
close.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So my OCD ass loves the fact that there's now a 2 in the section. I'm like, it's just so satisfying.
Hell yeah.
It's like those videos of you almost see a car accident, but then they stop at the last second type shit. So satisfying.
Like a really good stunt in a movie.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And we made that shit happen.
We did.
Big time shit. And that's because it's brought to you by BO.
Indeed.
That's right. I got nothing but love for you, my friend.
Thank you. I got nothing but love for you too.
Thank you. You know what? We'll have the 5th one, and then we'll do it on an even number 6th one. That was fire. That was
Indeed. That was pretty fuego.
what else is pretty fuego was this episode. In all honesty, this is gonna be a fucking banger. I can already sense the love coming from, the comments and all that shit.
I'm manifesting that this is your most viewed and your most liked. I'm manifesting. I'm not sure if it'll come true.
I like that. It's beautiful. And what else is beautiful is people that are watching. They probably were expecting that from me. So I'm seeing it right now at 1:59. So I'm milking it right now. 'Cause it's I can't have it be this close. That's the New Year's ball. And it gets to 1 and you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to stay in 2024. Nope. We're going on. So it's coming down right now.
December 32nd.
Yeah, exactly. February 29th. Which does my friend have anything else that you want to say to the viewers or me before this banger of an episode ends?
I guess thank you again for having me. I will be pleased whenever I get to return. This was really nice. This was really fun. And whoever is listening, thank you for tuning in. For, for Peterson Podium, we're signing up.
Well said. Oh, it's that. Oh, that was so smooth because you were like signing out, and then it's like boom, right there. So when they play a video, like I said before, the ball drop, so satisfying. All I gotta say is thank you for being here. Thank you for whoever listening, and also can't believe I remembered to say this because I usually forget things, but I'm gonna have it end off like this, like I usually do. Enjoy life.